Oscar goes to.
And the Oscar goes to.
And the Oscar goes.
And the Oscar goes. And the Oscar goes to.
지스터를 내비킴. Yes, it's me.
That's right, I've made my prediction for the next Oscars. Just kidding, but for real, YG has confirmed that Jisoo has officially been casted in her first lead role in a drama written and directed by the same team who did Sky Castle. This blew up last night when it was announced. We've seen Jisoo in dramas before, including The Producers, alongside winners Sungyoon and Dara. And of course, last year we saw her in another supporting role, making us all cry as well. She's been in commercials and things like that, but this time, she will be leading it. However, I'm sure we are a long way from seeing anything from Jisoo's drama, at least for right now since it's still operating under a working title. Obviously, the next thing she has on her schedule is BLACKPINK's collaboration with surprise guest Selena Gomez. Now, I say surprise guest, but it pretty much got speculated, talked about, and leaked before they even got to make that announcement. To the point where YG had to be like,
just okay.
By the way, I'm just as excited to watch Jisoo as I am to watch Irene's movie debut. Can we get the two new leading ladies in one movie? Ooh, Jisoo versus Irene, the battle for Jennie's receipt.
Well done.
We know Red Velvet has been focusing on individual activities like this and subunits while waiting for Wendy to recover from her accident that took place in December. But today, almost 8 months later, we got our first picture of Wendy since then. She looks amazing, she looks healthy. Not only that, but we are also going to get to hear her sing because these photos are all part of the awesome celebration for the legendary BoA's 20th anniversary, where artists are celebrating her and her classic songs with a special album. BoA is ingrained in the history of K-pop, so I'm really glad they're doing this. And as a bonus, it gave us all joy seeing our first visual confirmation that Wendy is okay. And while Irene and Seulgi's subunit gave me one of my favorite comebacks of the year so far, nothing beats a whole group being together, you know? That's why fans can feel irritated when it seems like a specific member is always being left out. We recently talked about how an apparent technical error left J-Hope out of a concert intro video. This time, it looks like V was weirdly left out of the cast and crew credits on their Break the Silence the movie. Not only that, but coincidentally, and what makes it even weirder, is the picture that some sites posted to report the movie's announcement left him out too. What are the chances of that? And what are the chances of this happening 1 year after it already happened? Crazy. Last I saw, fans were trending a bunch of things regarding it. AMC eventually recognized the mistake and said they would be fixing it. Fans definitely made up for it themselves when the DYNAMITE teaser released today. V trended worldwide, and that lucky green suit definitely helped. It's a good thing K-pop fans have the eyes of a hawk so that mistakes like these don't go unnoticed, and blatant attempts to plagiarize don't go unfounded either. Now, when talking about this, I'm not going to mention the artist's name or the song in case this is an attempt to create controversy and draw in attention to the song itself. That being said, fans noticed that this recently released music video has a striking resemblance to GOT7's Just Right. From the tiny versions of the singer in a drawer sitting on a makeup cushion, to the cereal box, to the M&Ms, to the zebra, not the zebra. Now, it's not just the individual elements that make it a case for plagiarism, but the sequences, framing, and prop placements as well. If those things still aren't enough for you, how about this background set that looks pretty identical to the one from BTS's Boy With Love? If you do go to the music video right now, the comments are turned off. Other than that, I haven't heard any official word from either side about this. It would be so crazy if this artist got away with it, because I mean, it's quite similar. And this quote unquote copyright message kind of rubbed people the wrong way, because it basically says, hey, if anything you see in this music video resembles an actual person or event, that's just unfortunate. I don't know, maybe JYP is working on it behind the curtains and just aren't talking about it. After all, they probably want the public's focus to be on ITZY's comeback for the immediate time being. You know, one thing I really like about Not Shy, and ITZY's other songs for that matter, is the uplifting message behind them. And this time, they released a really interesting video titled Letters to Mitzi that I think is a companion piece to their music video. But I'll go more into that if ITZY wins the music video theory poll. For now, I just just want to touch base on what specifically Ryujin talked about, because you probably saw a lot of headlines going around like ITZY or Ryujin talks about or exposes prejudice and misogyny in the K-pop industry. Well, here's what those headlines are referring to. Ryujin talks about how ITZY often gets complimented for their performances, but some of those statements would be along the lines of, that was a really cool performance for a girl group. That performance seems difficult for a girl group. She does say that she doesn't feel like they always have ill intent behind them, but sometimes she can't help but to take it that way rather than a true compliment. She says they don't do certain things because it would be cool for a girl group to do it. They do it because it looks cool, period. Another aspect she talked about was having to be thin to be pretty. It's never about health, wardrobe, or ability to perform. Rather, weight is always related back to beauty. I remember Taeyang's trainer saying his body was sculpted to optimize his dancing. But when was the last time you heard that about a girl group member? Now, I don't know what word, whether it be misogyny or prejudice like some articles are stating, better describe what she's talking about. Maybe you guys can chime in on that. Regardless, it baffles me that the mindsets that she talks about still exist considering the different types of girl groups we have these days. Not only that, but how dynamic each group is. While there are those who are primarily cute, sexy, or cool, which there's nothing wrong with that, a lot of them can be all of those things depending on the concept they want to pull off for that particular comeback. TWICE has shown a lot of different sides. Red Velvet is constantly changing. We've seen A-Pink evolve over the years, and G-Friend has some of the craziest choreographies in the game. Just look at the two girl groups who topped the last theory poll I put out on Instagram. Both are completely different, showing us that girl groups can pull off any concept just as good as the guys. And it looks like this time DREAMCATCHER won the poll, so my theory for their new music video BOCA will be featured in the next video, along with other topics you guys have been yearning to talk about, like 17 stuff, all the KYLA tea and drama as you guys put it. But we're holding off on those because I said we would talk about the cherry bullet controversy this time. And I've gone back and forth on how to approach this, how detailed to get, but to explain this in a way where most people would understand. The title of their new song and the melody of the chorus alludes to the original piece, which was written by the Queen during a very dark period of Hawaiian history. The song was written as an apology and farewell to the people of Hawaii as the kingdom was being forcefully overthrown by Americans. The Queen, who was imprisoned in her own home, essentially had to sacrifice the kingdom in order to save her people. It's looked at as a song of mourning for the Hawaiian kingdom. Nowadays, you hear the song at things like funerals and other important events. The problem fans have with FNC, not the girls, is that they took inspiration from the original song but used it in a happy summer pop song, and on top of that did not use the proper spelling of the title. Now, you might say, well, the song can be heard in movies like Train to Busan and even Lilo and Stitch, so why is it okay for them? Well, if you look at the context in how the song is used in those movies, it has to do with mourning and saying farewell. The concern in this case is that it disrespects what the song stands for. Again, the responsibility is being directed at FNC and not the Cherry Bullet girls themselves. We're talking about this to inform, to educate. Now, when you look in the comments section of their music video, you'll know what the discussion is all about. This is not to disregard or invalidate anyone's feelings. You can clearly see why people from Hawaii or those who have roots in Hawaii would see this as a problem for FNC to speak up about and even correct. Now, you know I like to at least try to end my videos on joy and positivity. No, not that joy, although that joy does bring me joy. I have breaking news and an exclusive K-pop Junkee report. Jisoo's next role has already been lined up as she will be playing the new Terminator.
I will be back, okay?